Because of the status that they enjoy here within our community, we thought that it was appropriate that moving forward in terms of trying to work with our families who have been impacted in our community, that we needed to come together as a community in unity to talk about next steps going forward. I do applaud Bishop Derek McRae for opening up his church today here at the Experience Christian Center to begin the process of having a dialogue about where we go from here. Because of the leadership that our clergy enjoys within our community, they are very unifying in their efforts. They have the professional training, I believe, to be able to work with those broken hearts, the emotional experience that our community is going through at this time. And shortly you're going to hear from Bishop Derek McRae, who's going to come up as the current chair and president of the African American Council of Christian Clergy. Obviously his church here is within the Pine Hills community, wonderful community. Like all communities, sometimes there are things that happen that are outside the direct control of those who are law-abiding citizens. And that is what we're dealing with today. I want to share with you that just a couple of years ago, we had another round of violent crime that was occurring within our community that was primarily being done by young adults, and in some cases children, where they were either the perpetrators or the victims of violent crime. We've had a number of significant shootings within our community, mass shootings as a community that has impacted all of us. And so what we are doing today is having this community conversation about where do we head from here. One of the things that you're going to see in the past when we were dealing with these issues, we impaneled a citizen safety task force that met for several months and made recommendations about what we can do in our community to be proactive to prevent violent crime from occurring by investing early in the lives of youth. The Board of County Commission allocated dollars to that effort. In fact, I'm joined here today by two of my colleagues from the Board of County Commission who share the geographical area here called Pine Hills, and Commissioner Christine Moore, Commissioner Michael Scott have joined me. I'm standing here as the county mayor to reassure you that we are committed to utilizing our funding, your tax dollars, in an appropriate way to address these issues going forward long term. The Citizen Safety Task Force that was impaneled in the recent past is going to be reconstituted for us to take a look at all of those recommendations that were made and see if we need to make modifications, amendments to those recommendations. But I do remind you that one of the recommendations was that as a community, we will increase our advocacy in Tallahassee before the state legislature to advocate for common sense types of gun laws. We will renew our efforts in that regard as we move forward today. I'm going to turn it over now to Bishop McRae to kind of lead off in the remainder of the conversation and the dialogue today. At the end of this meeting today, we hope that we have forged greater unity, and I want you to understand that we find ourselves that now there are new families who have a new normal because they have been directly impacted by a loved one who has either been killed or shot, seriously injured as a result of this incident. So here's an opportunity for us to take that passion, that concern for those families, and turn it into positive action to bring about change. We cannot do that if we do not stand together as a community as we move forward. So with that, I'm going to ask Bishop Derek McCray to come forward and to kind of lead the remainder of this conversation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Demings, and I've asked also the Vice President of the African American Council of Christian Clergy, Pastor Terrence Gray of the St. Mark AME Church, to accompany me as well today. As clergy in the faith community, we understand that there is a shared responsibility for public safety within our community. And as clergy, we stand not just in faith, but also in action with our law enforcement officers, with our elected officials, and all of our county partners to restore safety in our beloved community. We know that it takes more than policing to prevent violence, and just as we have come together before, we commit to doing our part to ensure that we stand in the gaps as a voice for the voiceless. We are committed to this divine call and calls, and will continue to advance violence prevention strategies that center people and save lives. This morning we have met, and we are constantly working with national entities like Clergy for Safe Cities and others to help assess and reassess the efforts that have been made through the Mayor's Citizens Safety Task Force to ensure that we're doing all that we can to help end the gun violence within our communities. We do, however, want to ask that our state legislators there in Tallahassee, we ask them not to pass the gun laws as they stand now that would make our communities less safe. I look forward to the day when we in our communities are no longer devastated by these lingering effects that take place from these gun shootings that are happening within our communities. We stand in prayer with all families in all communities around this issue, and we will continue to do our part to seek safety for all in our communities. There will be a follow-up meeting that will also take place for the Pine Hills residents and those who wish to be a part to really help us put action items into place. That would take place at 5:30 next Thursday here at the Experience Christian Center. There will also be a prayer visual that will be coming out very shortly. We ask that you would stay tuned as we work to collaborate with all of our pastors across the community, because we know that prayer is necessary and needed, but we know that it's also not the extent of the involvement that we'd have to have. God bless you all. At this time, we will have comments coming from Sheriff John Mina.